Ladies and gentlemen, Russell Wilson is 100% joining the Las Vegas Raiders, and here are 5 reasons why. You're going to want to stay till the end because you do not want to miss the final one. Number 5, mutual interest. There has already been a history of Russell Wilson being interested in the Raiders and Raiders owner Mark Davis being interested in Russell Wilson. In 2021, Russell Wilson's last year with the Seattle Seahawks, there were rumors about him demanding a trade. Russell Wilson's agent cleared things up and said that Russell Wilson has not demanded a trade, but the agent Mark Rodgers would go on to say that if Russell Wilson were to be traded, he would only waive his no trade clause for 4 teams: the Saints, the Cowboys, the Bears, and also the Las Vegas Raiders. One of the reasons at the time was because he has had a relationship with John Gruden going back to the QB coach camp on ESPN.
You're one of the most mentally tough guys that we have, aren't you?
I believe so. You know, with everything that's gone on through my life, my dad passing away, with everything that's happened in the past year and a half, I've been prepared. You know, I trust in the Lord. I know that, you know, he's going to lead me in the right direction all the time.
But even after John Gruden in 2022, when the Raiders were in this situation when they're looking for their next head coach after John Gruden, after Rich Bisaccia was not going to get the job, there were reports by NFL insiders that Mark Davis is into the concept of trading for Russell Wilson.
Instincts tell me Mark Davis wants rock star stuff in that stadium. Mark Davis had a Russell Wilson kind of, not fixation, but he was kind of into that concept from what I was hearing.
Mike Silver was describing the fact that Mark Davis would like a celebrity in the building. We know Mark Davis has also always been interested in Tom Brady, but that did not work out. So at the time, right before the Raiders ended up hiring Josh McDaniels, Mark Davis was thinking about Russ. Reason 4, Las Vegas is a good fit. Russell Wilson has been criticized for trying to be a celebrity, and there is an element of truth to that.
You have lost it, man. You have gone completely over the edge in celebrity.
It ain't about being no football player.
No.
But that also means that he would prefer an entertainment capital, one of the biggest entertainment capitals of the entire world, Las Vegas. And his wife, Ciara, would also like the opportunity to move to Sin City. She already performed before the Broncos faced the Las Vegas Raiders last year, and there have been rumors that she's interested in pursuing a Vegas residency where she would perform for a long time. A Las Vegas residency typically lasts for an entire year, which happens to be the length of Russell Wilson's next contract. Reason 3, the coach and the players. Lately, Russell Wilson has dealt with some controlling head coaches. He's dealt with Sean Payton, who definitely did not treat Russell Wilson well. He started yelling in his face multiple times live on TV. And there were so many reports that Russell Wilson clashed with head coach Pete Carroll in Seattle. Carroll would not let Russell Wilson run the offense exactly how he would like. The Raiders are likely going to hire Antonio Pierce. That seems set in stone. You got people close to the team like James Jones even saying that the players will mutiny if they do not hire Antonio Pierce.
Raiders kind of in a situation where the locker room will turn on the owner if they don't give him the job.
I think they'll turn on the owner if Antonio Pierce don't get this job.
Pierce would be a rookie head coach technically next year, has gained a positive reputation in the Raiders locker room because he listens to players unlike Josh McDaniels. Russell Wilson would probably prefer working with a rookie head coach like Antonio Pierce, who's not going to be as controlling as Pete Carroll or Sean Payton. You also have Davante Adams, who's 31 years old and during the next season is going to be 32. He's in his prime. Davante Adams is likely trying to pursue a Super Bowl right now at any cost, and I don't know if he's interested in rolling with a rookie, rolling with a young quarterback, and trying to develop them. Russell Wilson is 35 years old, going to be 36 years old next season, so you're going to have a 36-year-old and a 32-year-old who are trying to win it all right now. The Raiders are also not committed to their current offensive coordinator, Bo Hardegree. He was a QB coach hired under Josh McDaniels and got the promotion just because McDaniels was fired. So the Raiders have a wide open coaching spot available for the offensive coordinator position if they go ahead and hire Antonio Pierce as their full-time head coach, which I believe they will do. So Russell Wilson will have the advantage of bringing in his own hand-picked offensive coordinator. Reason number 2, most contending teams already have their quarterback and they're financially committed to them. Like we mentioned earlier, Russell Wilson is 36 years old. He's going to be in an interesting position this offseason where he's likely going to be able to choose exactly where he wants to go. Russell Wilson, if he has his choice, is likely not going to want to be on the Washington Commanders with a brand new head coach, brand new owner, and try to figure that out. I don't think he's going to be interested in the Patriots, whatever they got going on. Even if Bill Belichick stays, it's kind of a rebuild, a building year. The Titans are committed to Will Levis, and it doesn't seem like the Titans are exactly built for a Super Bowl right now. The Cleveland Browns, they cannot get out of the Deshaun Watson contract. He's going to be healthy and coming back next year, plus Joe Flacco is working out. The Pittsburgh Steelers could be a possibility because they're not fully bought in with Kenny Pickett, but he's still a first-round pick with 2 more years left on his contract, plus the 5th-year option. So the GM is technically invested in the guy, but the Vikings could be interesting if they move on from Kirk Cousins. Maybe the head coach Kevin O'Connell gives Russell Wilson a shot, but it seems like he would rather just bring back Kirk Cousins and maybe draft a guy. So really, there's no other team besides the Raiders that would be a perfect wide open opportunity, both financially and in terms of the talent that's ready to win right now. Reason number 1, sweet revenge. Russell Wilson would likely love the opportunity to get back at Sean Payton, and what other way to do that than to play in his division and face him 2 times a year. Sean Payton did not seem like he respected Russell Wilson, and it definitely showed on the sidelines. Who knows how bad it was behind the scenes? If he's barking at him like that on live TV, imagine what it was like in the locker room. Keep in mind, because of the contract situation, because Russell Wilson has a no trade clause, he is 99.9% gonna be released, just like Derek Carr was released by the Las Vegas Raiders. It is just so hilarious that the same thing that happened to Derek Carr last year is now happening to Russell Wilson, even with Jarrett Stidham replacing them for the final 2 games of the season. And Carr was asked about the Russell Wilson situation.
Been there, I understand, he's got a big number. If he gets hurt and they don't know staying or leave, is Stiddy going to play? Stidham. And I love Stiddy. Me and him, great relationship last year and still do. I wish him the best. I know Russ wishes him the best.
Russell Wilson's benching is similar to Derek Carr's with the Raiders last year, where they are benching him to avoid his injury guarantees the following year kicking in. If Russell Wilson were to get hurt these final 2 games, he would get $37 million in addition to the $89 million he's already going to be paid over the next 2 years. So they are going to end up releasing Russell Wilson for sure, just like the Raiders had to cut Derek Carr last year, because Russell Wilson's not going to waive that no trade clause and they want to avoid those injury guarantees, that $37 million. But the Broncos will be on the hook anyways for $89 million over the next 2 seasons, 2024 and 2025. Here is how Russell Wilson can really screw the Denver Broncos over. How it works is whatever deal he gets next year cuts into the amount and reduces the amount the Broncos owe him. So he can really screw the Broncos over by taking a veteran minimum $1.2 million contract, meaning the Broncos would still owe him pretty much the full amount, that full $89 million minus the $1 million and change. So he could be playing against the Broncos 2 times a year in a Raiders uniform, basically for free, while the Broncos pay the tab. The Raiders would definitely be into a cheap quarterback, especially because they're going to have to pay Jimmy Garoppolo roughly over $10 million next year because they're going to have to cut the guy. So you can get a cheap quarterback while you're paying off the Jimmy Garoppolo tab. You won't be wasting a draft pick on a quarterback, one of these rookies, and you can use that extra money to build your team. I agree with Derek Carr in this earlier video that Russell Wilson can still make all the passes.
Everyone knows he can play. Everyone knows he can complete passes. Everyone knows any good quarterback you're surrounded with a lot of talent, a lot of good guys, the results come.
He is still a competent quarterback in the NFL and has also shown that he can still move around in the pocket. Sean Payton, who has such a big ego, never wanted the guy. He didn't keep it a secret. They even hit him up right after Halloween, asking if he would waive his injury guarantees. Why would he screw himself over like that? So Russell Wilson has been toughing it out there, knowing for pretty much the past 2 months that they are moving on from him, even though none of us in the NFL world knew that. And while he's dealing with all this BS with Sean Payton, he's 6th in the NFL, tied with some others, Panthers in passing touchdowns, only has 8 interceptions over 3,000 yards. And quite frankly, Jerry Jeudy and Courtland Sutton, I do not think that's a better wide receiver combo at all than Devontae Adams and Jacoby Myers. I do not think Russell Wilson just magically became a horrible quarterback out of nowhere. I make fun of the guy too. I think the TikToks are funny. I think the Subway stuff is funny. I can't deny that sometimes he does switch up his voice a little bit.
Being the new guy on the job, it's been exciting so far, but I've realized I've got a lot to learn.
When you're at the house, you in your own kitchen, you gotta get the whole squad here ready to pick out your suits. This is how you do it. It's either yes or no. You either love it or you don't like it.
But he has a great resume. He's performed at a high level in the past. I think he has a great attitude. He'd be a good leader. He would be somebody that a rookie quarterback could sit behind like Aiden O'Connell. On top of that, I think he's the hungriest he's ever been to win it all right now in his career. He's at the very tail end of it, and he just got screwed over by another AFC West team. I think the Raiders are 100% going to make this happen. There's too many reasons why it seems like a good fit. Let me know in the comments below if you think Russell Wilson is going to the Las Vegas Raiders. My name is Wi-Fi Willie. Peace out, and I hope you have a good one.